Hello, welcome in. Hi. This is so weird doing an intro. I'm not a big YouTuber, so doing an intro is just so weird to me. Hi, welcome in. If you are new here, welcome. My name's Mariah. I also go by Paging Moo. This is my channel where I talk about all things that are books. I am so excited. I have a bunch of plans for November. I have some video ideas in my head for starting off this YouTube channel and everything. I'm so excited. Everyone has been so welcoming. It has been amazing. All the love and support is just incredible, and I appreciate it all so much. We are doing our November TBR. I'm feeling good about November. I am feeling good. I'm really gonna hardcore hit my content for reading and really try to make content and read as much more. My problem before was that I really wasn't setting time aside to read, and I was expecting to be able to stay up until like late into the night to read, and I just wasn't. So I've kind of been in a somewhat slump. We're going to use Chip our TBR cup as normal. We are going to pick 10 different prompts. I am feeling confident for November. We're not going to get through all 10, but I have a good feeling that we will at least have a variety of options, which is something I need, as I'm currently going into like a mood reader kind of era. So like I went from like playing TBRs and like strictly only reading my TBR to being like, what am I in the mood for? So, you know, these are always just like hopefuls, pretty much a like draft map, as you may, of like, hey, you should probably read these, but like it won't kill you if you don't read them. Like, you don't have to stick to your TBR, but it's always good to try. So yeah, let's see what all happens. Let's get into it. Also, like, if you have made it into the video this far, thank you. Please, if you like the video, drop a like, drop a comment, leave recommendations for books, future videos you want to see, anything like that. I appreciate it. I love you all. Okay, I will stop yapping and let's get into the video. Okay, here we go. So prompt number 1. Okay, so prompt number 1 is a blue book. And also, like, I don't keep these after I use them, I toss them, so there are no repeats from last month in this either. I'm being very thorough this month, apparently. So these are all the options I have for a blue book. Way too many, clearly, so I'm gonna lower them down real quick. Give me couple seconds. I'm currently debating between these 3. So I have The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I heard this is like Disneyland meets romance in a way. There's 3 grandsons and the grandfather leaves them each like tasks in order to get their inheritance, I believe is how it goes. So this is like the first book in that, where I believe it's about like the park, like themed park he runs or something like that, and it gets renovated or something. I watched this on a recommendation video, a fall recommendation video, and I love the sound of it, and I have it on my TBR. So I also have Heartless, which is the second book to the Chestnut Spring series. This is a Grumpy Sunshine single dad ex-nanny. Yeah, I really enjoyed Flawless when I read it, and I heard this is even better than Flawless. Like, everyone loves Daddy Cade, so I really want to get to this soon. And then we have Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I have been meaning to read this book forever. My mom actually bought this for me. This is a duology. This is the last book, clearly. I love Divine Rivals so much, and I think I'm leaning towards this to kind of wrap up a series, to kind of finish a series I'm in the middle of, because I'm in quite a few right now. So I think I'm gonna go with Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross for this prompt. Book number 1, Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Prompt number 2 from Chip for us. Okay, here we go. My AC is making a weird noise, sorry. A book with 2 or more POVs. I know which book, I'm staring at one right now that I know I should be picking up because it's the second to last book in a series I'm in the middle of, and so it's like, oh, you should read Mead because there's 3 POVs of me. But I had it on my TBR last month and I didn't read it, so I just know I'm probably just not in the mood for it. I'm gonna pull the plug. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put it back on my TBR again. And honestly, if I do not end up reading it in November, I am not gonna be putting it on my December TBR. But this is another series I'm in the middle of. I need to finish it, you know, so we're putting The Sea Witch by Katee Robert on the TBR. This is the 5th book in the Wicked Villain series. Basically, these are spicy adult Disney retellings. So the first 4 books, you have Jasmine Jafar, then you have Hades, Meg, and Hercules, then Tink and Hook, and then the last book I just finished up was Belle, Gaston, and the Beast, and now this one is Eric, Ariel, and Ursula. So I'm very interested to see how this one goes. After this, I just have 1 more book and then the series is done and I can count this off as a completed series. Book number 2 is The Sea Witch by Katee Roberts. Okay, going in for prompt number 3. Oh, this is, I don't know, published in May. We're gonna have to do some research real quick. Everything I'm finding right now is in April. Most popular books published in May 2023 on Goodreads. What a process that was. I am so sorry, y'all. That one took a while, but we finally found it, and that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Ali Hazelwood has quickly become one of my favorite authors. I have read 2 books by her and both have been above a 4-star, you know, 4-star or above, honestly. So she slays. She never misses with me. This is perfect. You know, we're going into November, which is probably around the last time that this will be like in the season for the mood, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know much about this except for that it is vampire werewolf giving Twilight vibes and everything like that, but it's supposedly rom-com-y. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm probably not going to look into this at all. I'm just going to go into it just knowing that and see how I do with this. So book number 3 is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. The fact that we're only 3 books in, this video is taking forever to film, is concerning me. Because I'm getting like, I don't know, some hard prompts for me apparently. Okay. Book number 4 prompt is Goodreads award book, which means I have to go right back to the internet. I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and look this up real quick. I'm just really hoping that there is like a book on here on my physical TBR, which the Goodreads voting is next month as well. I looked from the past 3 years. In 2023 and 22 I didn't have anything, but 2021 there is this, which is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Aramas, I think is how you say it. I don't know. I think this is like workplace enemies to lovers. She needs a date to her sister's wedding or something like that because she told them she has a date and everything, and so her co-worker agrees or she talks him into it, one or the other. But this got best debut novel, so we'll see how this goes. Book number 4 is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Aramas. Book number 5. And this will put us at the halfway point, which is good. Okay, prompt for book number 5 is bottom of TBR pile. There's a lot of those. So I have 2 that's probably I would consider like the bottom of my TBR because they're like the ones that I remember like at the beginning of my reading journey being like, okay, these are what I'm gonna read next. And I bought a bunch of books and did not read them next, and they've just kind of been set aside. We have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, I think is how you say it. This is fantasy. completely different world. Apparently, like, their magic system revolves around cards, I think, and she has like a voice in her head called Nightmare or something like that. So I don't know, I'm not a big fantasy girly, y'all know that. So the next one is actually a fantasy book, funny enough, and it is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson. One of my best friends is a Brandon Sanderson like fanboy, absolutely raves about him, loves him. It's actually the author that got me back into reading. Tress of the Emerald Sea by him, highly recommend. I gave it 5 stars, absolutely loved it, devoured it. So I know I like Brandon Sanderson's writing from that book. I just haven't pulled the plug to read any of his other books, and I know this would be like the perfect second book to do. I haven't. Now I'm like, which fantasy do I want to do? I think I'm like, I've had this on it the longest. I really need to get to it. I know I like Brandon Sanderson already, so I honestly just need to see if he's 2 for 2 with his books. It's research. Book number 5 is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson. Prompt number 6. Okay. And this is bought after hearing about it. And you know what? I actually know what book I have in mind for this. The fact that that is exactly what I did with this book. I remember going to work that day and being on TikTok and someone being like, this is one of the best like mystery books I've read. It's YA Criminal Minds, like it's so good. And I remember just hearing the Criminal Minds part and being like, done, sold. And I went to the bookstore after work that day and went and picked this up immediately. And that is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have not read a Jennifer Lynn Barnes book, but everyone always talks about how amazing The Naturals and The Inheritance Games is. And I just haven't read either of them. And it's just shocking that specifically I have not read The Naturals yet, because Criminal Minds is my bread and butter. I love Criminal Minds so much. The fact that there's a book like them and I haven't read it is just crazy. Book number 6 is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's one of those where like you've been putting it off because you know it's going to be such a good read. I just know I'm going to love it. Oh, okay. Book number 7. A book that scares you. There's a couple of those actually on my TBR that I've been putting off because they absolutely terrify me. I grabbed 5 books on my TBR, but now that I think about it, we'll talk about it. Do this real fast. So A Court of Thorns and Roses, we all know this. I am terrified of this. This has been on my TBR, I think like twice, 2 or 3 times now. I just have not picked it up. I have started the first couple of pages. I just haven't pulled the plug or anything like that and officially read it, and I don't want to be like one of those people who don't enjoy it because everyone else seems to love it and I want to love it. So we have Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This whole series scares me. One, the books are kind of thick. It seems like a commitment and everything. It seems like the books get bigger as the series go along, just like with ACOTAR as well. One Dark Window, we talked about this earlier. The whole magic system and everything scares me. I'm afraid of the world building. I won't understand it. Butcher and Blackbird, like I said, I love Criminal Minds. I love serial killers and everything like that. And by that, I mean like I love like reading about them and listening to podcasts about it. I don't actually love them. And people say this is either amazing or it's not. You're either uncomfortable or you're not. And I want to be comfortable and love everything about it. And I feel like if I made it through Haunting and Hunting Adeline, I'll be able to make it through this. So I feel like this one doesn't scare me as much as the others. So I'm gonna put it back because of that. Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I've never read a Lucy Score book, but I've heard you either love or hate this, but this one is thick. I think she terrifies me the most. I feel like these are the 3 that scare me the most, but I think I'm gonna go with Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, because when I look at the 3 of them, like that's the one where I'm like, nah. And I think if I just pull the plug and read it and sit down and just commit to it, I'll get through it. It's over 500 pages. Like there's no reason a romance should be that way. Baby Boy's the same way though. Baby Boy's the same way. Hang on. Shout out Anna Hong, by the way. I absolutely love her. I adore her. She's my favorite author. But The Striker came out. Baby boy is just as thick. I'm just gonna pull the plug. Book number 7, Things We Got Over by Lucy Score. Okay, we have what, 3 more left? So that's pretty good. Okay, here we go. Prompt number 8, actually. Prompt number 8. Oh, this is mystery thriller book. Okay. So I have 3 options for this one, and I'm actually not sure which one I want to do. So I could do Good Girl, Bad Blood. This is book 2 to the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I have read book 1, I think 2 months ago. A friend picked it for me to read. Loved it. I honestly was upset with myself because I think I read it over the course of 2 weeks, and I wish I would have sat down and binged the book, because I think that would have brought the rating up to like 4.5 stars, like maybe potentially 5-star area for me. I gave it 4 stars, the first book, and I just really wish I would have binged it. So this one for sure, I'm gonna make sure I binge it if I do pick this one. The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I have yet to read a Riley Sager book at all, and I have had this one on my TBR for a while. I heard about it, immediately was like, ooh, this sounds interesting. And then The Coworker by Frida McFadden. I love Frida McFadden. She is a queen of mystery thrillers. I eat them up every single time. I have been a little disappointed with my recent ones I've read by her, just because I've read some of the best ones by her. And I heard this one's a little annoying with turtles. So do I want to do that to myself? But it is fast paced, which I like fast paced. And I like Frida McFadden. So yeah, I'm gonna go with The Coworker by Frida McFadden for book number 8. Book number 8 is The Coworker by Frida McFadden. 2 more to go. Just crazy. Okay. Prompt number 9. Author you haven't read in a while. So this is actually good. An author I haven't read in a while. I actually grabbed 4 of them. We have Rena Kent. We've God of Pain. It's been several months since I've read God of Malice, the only Rena Kent book I have read, and I became obsessed with it immediately. Loved it. So Dark Romance, which I don't think we have any Dark Romance. Heartless again by Elsie Silver, just because the only Elsie Silver book I have read has been Flawless, and that was several months ago as well. Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I read Icebreaker at the beginning of the year, and I still have yet to read Wildfire. And Daydream is out, and I love Henry, and why wouldn't I read this to hurry up to get to Henry? Like, duh. If We Ever Meet Again by Anna Hong. Okay, I have read the Twisted Love series. I absolutely devoured it, loved it. I've read King of Wrath, and that is as far as I've went, because then I realized there's the If Love series, and I have not read that, and that was before the King of Sin series. So I want to read this, and all 4 books got updated with sprayed edges, so it's like, why not? And I have them all. Sorry, Elsie. You are not in this debate. I think these are the contenders for it though. And if I think about it more and more, I really don't have a dark romance. And as much as I do want to do Wildfire, I really want a dark romance. Just to kind of spice it up. So yeah, God of Pain. Book number 9 is going to be God of Pain by Rena Kent. That's also my favorite number. Maybe it will be my favorite book of the month. This is our final prompt. This is going to wrap it up and everything. Let's hope this is a good one. And then we will go back over all the books that we grabbed, because we have quite a bit. Okay, prompt number 10 is part of a trilogy. Is that how you say it? Trilogy? Trilogy. Oh my god. Those are one of those books when, like, you are not one of those books, one of those words when you're looking at it, you're like, and then you say it once and you're like, oh my god, trilogy. That's how you say it, you know? Well, again, we have Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is actually a trilogy I'm in the middle of. This is the second book. We just went over this. Then we have the Dreamland Billionaire series, The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, which is just a romance book, but it is a trilogy as well. So Good Girl, Bad Blood. I think I could probably, since I have some books I'm in the middle of, like in the series, I could probably make a video about like series I'm in the middle of too. Book number 10 is going to be Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson to continue the series that we are in. So let's do a wrap up of all the books that we have for November now. Okay, we are completely stacked for the month of November, and I'm honestly excited about most of these. There are quite a few on here where I'm like, oh, I've been meaning to get around to these, and these are all physical TBR books, so I'm giving myself the goal to where if I read all 10 of them, I will take myself on a little book shopping spree and get 10 new books, so we'll see. But I have to read all 10 of them, so does it have to be the 10 TBR books? No, absolutely not. Just 10 books in general would be nice. But if I hit all of these, that would be great. Okay, so book number 1 is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I'm excited about this. This is like YA fantasy, romantasy. It'll be a great time, and I'll be wrapping up this series and Iris's and Roman's story as well, and I'm excited for that. Then we have The Sea Witch by Katie Roberts. This is another series I'm in the middle of. This is book 5 out of 6, so this will put me closer to finishing this. This will be great. This is like Disney retelling spicy adult romance. Okay, and then we have Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is one I'm really excited for. Like, I may pick this one up today. That's how excited I am for it. But this is romantasy is what I'm gonna say, pretty much is what I'm gonna go with. Yeah, so werewolf, vampires, we'll see how it goes. Apparently there's knotting. Don't know what that is, but I guess maybe I'll find out. Okay, book number 4 is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Aramas. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, and I feel bad saying the last names wrong. Names in general wrong, I feel bad. But I can't fix myself. I've tried many a time. So this is enemies to lovers, only one bed, fake dating. So a little bit of everything that I like. So romance. Book number 5 is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson. High fantasy is what I've heard he is. So this will be interesting. I honestly know nothing about this, so we'll see how it goes. We have The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This was described as YA Criminal Minds. All these teenagers pretty much have like these natural abilities, and they're helping like FBI agents like solve these crimes and stuff, is what I believe. So book number 7 is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I'm terrified of this. This one's thick, but I feel like if I can get through this one, I can get through almost anything. So this is, I think, a small town romance. So I think it may be single mom as well. I could be wrong though. That may be book 2. I don't know much about this. The Coworker by Frida McFadden, the queen of mystery thrillers. In my opinion, love her. This is apparently about like, actually, I'm not even gonna lie to you all. I'm not 100% sure what this is about. Obviously, The Coworker, I think one goes missing. There's stuff about turtles that is apparently annoying, but overall, I've heard it's a pretty decent read. So we'll see. Okay, book number 9 is God of Pain by Rena Kent. I think this is our only dark romance for this month. So I'm gonna savor this bad boy up, because this is the one that I am excited for. The couple in this that this revolves around. I was like in book 1, I was like, oh, I hope I get their story soon, and what do you know, I get it now. So, and finally, book 10 is Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is the second book in a Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, so this will be fun. I really am gonna try to binge this one this time instead of just sitting around and slowly reading it like I did with the first book, because I just feel like it would have made it so much more enjoyable if I would have done that. Okay, and that is all the books for our November TBR. Thank you all so much for staying for this video. I know it was kind of a longer one. I am so sorry. I rambled a lot in this one, but I appreciate you all so much. If you are still here and you have not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Please leave a comment of your November TBR or a book that you recommend for the TBR, because like I said, I am a mood reader, so I probably may not even touch half of these books. I may though. You never know. You never know with me, honestly. So thank you all so much. I hope y'all have a wonderful November. I will be back with more videos, hopefully, and y'all have a great reading month.